What's up, y'all, and welcome back to Seton Hill Studios. Hope you're having an amazing day out there so far. So we're bringing you some original content today, taking a break from the reactions. We're going to be looking at how to take songs in a worship set and blend them seamlessly together. And this doesn't just have to work for a church setting. This could be for a live band setting of just how to create musical transitions so that you don't break the flow of your music. But before we get into it, a few ways you guys can continue to support the channel. You can head on over to Patreon and become a member there, or right here on YouTube, you can become a channel member. Both of those are going to get you access to priority reaction requests as well as other perks and features. And then as always, with a one-time donation through Buy Me a Coffee, you can get a guaranteed request that either Steven or I will react to right here on the channel. All right, let's get into it. All right, folks, here we go. We got an Ableton Live 11 session up. The songs that we're going to be working with are Living Hope and Let the Redeemed. So Living Hope ends really big. Let the Redeemed starts pretty big, so it should be a fairly easy transition. I've actually never transitioned these two songs together before. They're in the same key, so we don't have to manipulate the tracks. So first thing when I get into it is always I want to listen to how the first song ends and how the second song begins, and then we can start to work our way into transition them together. So we'll come up here to this ending marker, and we'll kind of hear a little bit of the outro and ending of the first song, and then we'll hear how this other one begins. So let's take a listen. So that's a really long fade out of that song.
2. Intro. 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so Living Hope is fading out entirely too long, and actually Let the Redeemed, there's like a count in for the intro, but nothing's actually fading in. So the first thing I would do to tighten this up is I would eliminate this entire section right here. So this first part where there's nothing.
1, 2. Intro. 2.
So I would kill all of this. Oops. Bring that up to here, move the marker, and then delete this time right here so that we're kind of working back in the same spot. So now what we're left with for Let the Redeemed.
Intro. 2, 3,
starts right
4.
in. And there'll be plenty of time from the crash out of Living Hope to that to where it shouldn't come as a shock when the click and the cues come back in. Plenty of time to get into this intro. So then we need to go back. We need to look at Living Hope because it's going on, let's see, 10 seconds. And then the intro of Let the Redeemed is 3 seconds. So we're looking at a 13-second transition. So I'll let you hear it now that we've eliminated that little bit, but it's really just too long unless you're really trying to like settle a moment. Maybe someone's going to say something. But if you're just trying to flow between the two songs, it's just too long for 13 seconds. But I'll give you a listen so you can hear for yourself.
Ending. 2, 3, 4.
Going.
Intro. 2, 3, 4.
So already the fade out into the fade in of Let the Redeemed is fine. Like that would work if you showed up on a Sunday morning and that's what you were working with. Not a big deal. But we can shorten up what's coming out of Living Hope and we can get that transition even more seamless and musical. So let's take this back. Let's see if we pull it back to here. Then we're working with 6 seconds and 9 seconds. So we probably want to take it back a little more, and we may overshoot and have to revisit it here, but let's see. So if we delete that time there, pull them together, then we're looking at the crash out of Living Hope to the downbeat of Let the Redeemed is 6 1/3 seconds. So that's kind of quick, but there's another way that we can manipulate that as well through using the metronome, the BPM marker here. So let's hear what this sounds like. It's going to fade out too fast, but let's just listen for the timing.
Ending. 2, 3, 4. Intro. 2, 3, 4.
So timing wise, it's a little quick, but I don't necessarily want to add a whole other measure back in. So we can actually take this, we can move it down a little bit because there's no timing. They're just kind of crashing out there. So we can move that down, and that just bought us an extra 3/4 of a second. So let's listen to it now.
Ending. 2, 3, 4. Intro. 2, 3, 4.
So timing wise, that feels better. So now let's actually take a look. So now we need to see what is actually coming in that's kind of swelling in. Obviously there's drums. I think there's an electric guitar and a pad sound. So we'll have to find those, figure out what's coming in. Then we'll figure out what can lay over from Living Hope and what needs to remain to get the good swell in from Let the Redeemed. So we'll start right here.
Intro. 2, 3.
So this keys
4.
one, look like EG1 and EG2. I didn't see the bass. I have to listen to it again. But obviously the drums.
Intro. 2, 3, 4.
Okay. So we're working with Living Hope coming here. This is not coming in. No piano. I don't think the vocals are going to hang over, but we'll check with those. And then EG1 and EG2, and then looks like there's 3 acoustics in Let the Redeemed. Bass is not coming in, drums are coming in, but where are they actually coming in?
Intro. 2, 3.
So they're coming in fairly quick there, so we'll probably have to crossfade those. So we've got a few things that can kind of roll over on their own that should help ease the transition already. Let's see, we can carry these over, carry the bass over. So already this should be sounding more musical and seamless, but I'm sure we can still tighten it up even more. Let's see what we got.
Ending. 2, 3, 4. Intro. 2, 3, 4.
So that's pretty good. The drums and the EGs are still fading out too fast. These acoustics, I mean, they're not really going to ring, but we can still create something there. So let's see. Let's solo out these EG tracks and see what they're doing. Let me hear it one more time. Okay. So what is EG2? Let me separate them. So there's actually... This is the thing, like EG1, EG2, a lot of times there's actually 2 guitars in there, one on the left, one on the right. So you got to be careful because the rhythm, one is holding that one note, and then you've got another one that is hitting that big chord there. What's EG1 doing? Okay. So we definitely, let's see what they're doing in Living Hope and see which one we can carry over because they're doing something very similar. And so let's see what we can carry over from Living Hope. So those sound like they're almost the same as well. Okay, so EG1 had the stronger part in Let the Redeemed. So let's carry over EG2. And then we can take these two and we'll just crossfade them across. And that should give us a pretty seamless transition. Okay, so that'll work for the guitars. Now let's listen to the drums.
4.
Should probably unsolo the guitars. So those drums, when do they actually start? Right there. So if we crossfade these drums right there. Okay. So realistically, this should give us a very musical transition that you can use for a reference track. You can send it out to your team so they know exactly what's expected of them on a Sunday morning, saves time in rehearsal, which is always nice. So let's give it a listen. All right.
Ending. Intro, 2, 3, 4.
All right. So that is significantly better than where we started. We went from like a 13 or 19-second transition, something like that, to about a 7-second transition. And as one song's fading out, the other song's coming in. So really, it's just a matter of drilling down and finding what you can carry over that's not going to interfere with what is kind of swelling in or bringing in the next song. So yeah, I think that honestly, that would do it for me. That'd be really good. Again, just getting out of one song into the other without breaking the flow of things. It's not always this easy necessarily, because sometimes songs aren't in the same key and it kind of makes things difficult. But when you get songs like this and they're in the same key, it makes it super easy. And so you can let's listen to a little more of the context of it. So let's listen to this last chorus all the way through, just so you can feel kind of the energy of the first song and how we blend it into that second song. So let's get right into this chorus. And that'll be that.
3, 4. Intro, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, that's the ticket right there. All right. I think that's going to do it. All right, folks. Hopefully you learned something and that was helpful to you. It's amazing what some intentionality and a few small tweaks can really do to make such a huge impact. The difference in where we started and where we ended up was really astounding. And it really didn't take much. A few little tweaks here or there and some intentionality can really take you a long way. And again, this isn't just for church worship services. It can be for flowing an album. It could be for a live concert or a live gig. Just making sure that, as you're getting from one section to another, just like anything, you want it to flow seamlessly. And there are times where you're going to come in, you may want a break, you may need time to speak or engage with the congregation if you're in a church, or engage with the crowd if you're doing a live show. But if you're wanting things to, songs back to back and you need them to go together, this is the easiest route to take to get very quick, amazing results. All right, y'all. I'm working on another video of how to accomplish this if you're not musical, which sounds weird that you would be working with music or things like this. But there's a lot of, really good engineers and producers and things that aren't really musical at all. I know in my situation with the church that I work for, there are a lot of different ways to approach it. There are some worship pastors who like longer transitions, some who like short to really keep it moving. I've had campuses before with no worship pastor and production directors that are not musical, and I've able to kind of devise a system to really help them create these flowing transitions in a more mathematical way. So if you want to see that video, make sure you like this one, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time we drop new content. And as always, we'll see you on the next one.